So the footage you're about to see was supposed to be one of a 3-part episode where I was going to show you how I fabricated the rocker panels, then how I bondo and prepped the engine bay, and then lastly how I painted it. But due to technical difficulties, I lost the footage, or most of it, for the first 2 episodes. So with that said, here's kind of how I painted it and the final product. All right, so the saga continues with this spray painting engine bay. So where we left off, last time I was doing a time lapse on this side, and I ended up going through the clear coat, and because I already know from the last 2 goes, I'm gonna have to wet sand with 600 grit everything that you see that I did right there all the way to here. Okay, so I just wet sanded everything with 600 grit all the way back to the back of the shock tower. So now I'm going to wipe it down with grease. I don't know that it'll focus on that. It's grease and oil remover. I just bought it at O'Reilly's, so nothing fancy. Okay, it's been like 30 seconds, so I'm gonna start spray painting. Again, nothing fancy. All right. Okay, you guys probably can't see that in this video, but this spray paint is literally looking like shit, and I cannot figure out for the life of me why it's doing that. So just for, I mean, obviously I sanded and buffed this side, but you can kind of get an idea that it at least laid down good. This side, what the fuck is going on? I have no idea why it's doing that. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I don't know what to do. I guess I will continue the bad crap I'm doing. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna wait 10 minutes and apply another coat, and I guess this time around I'll just put it so thick I'll put like 5 or 6 coats, and then no matter how grainy it looks, I'll just sand it until it's smooth. All right, here goes coat number 2. Yeah, I'm almost convinced that other YouTubers that are showing you how to do this are, I don't know how it's going to look from that distance, but I guarantee you, because this looks not good. I would not recommend anybody to try this. Coat number 3. So I have some theories. Maybe I shouldn't have wet sanded it and the paint sucked up some moisture. Or I tried to go too thick, too quick, and that's why it turned out like crap. Or this waxing
oil remover that you see everybody using is bogus, and they're really using like alcohol or something else. I don't know. Coat number 4. All right, coat number 4. I guess I never really talked about it, but I'm waiting about 10 minutes in between each coat. Coat number 5. All right, number 6, and I think this is going to be the last one. I was just going to show after this 6th coat kind of how it turned out. Actually, it's starting to look better as the coats, I guess, got thicker on it. So it started off terrible, but it really don't look too bad now. Kind of happy with. It's definitely got a lot of orange peel that I'm gonna have to sand out, but I was really getting discouraged how it started out. Alright, just got done with the first sanding of the 600 grit, and I also just realized that I didn't have the microphone on for the first clip, so most likely you'll see that in a time lapse. But anyway, I want to show you kind of what I'm looking for. Basically, I wanted all this flat color. I may hit this again. These shiny spots mean you didn't level all the clear coat. You didn't sand all the way through it, so this is what you're looking for before you move on. I'm gonna hit that again. I'm gonna hit this again. See those bright spots right there? I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna hit this again. All right, so I just finished up with the second round of 600 grit. It's not perfect, but it don't have to be. It's the engine bay. So. Started off with 600 grit, now I'm going to work to 1,000 grit, then I'll go to 2,000 and then 5,000 rubbing compound, and then finish off with polishing compound. So on to 1,000 grit. Also with sanding, I'm sanding like, I guess, a cross pattern. So I'll do like maybe 5 strokes this way, then 5 strokes this way, 5 strokes this way, then 5 strokes that way. So I don't know if that matters to you. That's how I'm sanding it. So on to 1,000 grit. All right, done with the 1,000. Moving on to 2,000 now. So 2,000. All right, so that's all for 2,000 grit. I'm gonna move from there straight to 5,000 grit, and here's where I'm gonna spend quite a bit more time. I think that this one is probably the more important, the sandpaper side. I feel like the 600 grit and the 5,000 grit. The 600 grit is important because, I mean, you're gonna spend all day if you try to sand this down with just starting at like 1,000 or 2,000. And then the 5,000 grit is important because you want to get as many of those scratches out as you can, or else you're just going to be buffing until your freaking arm falls off with the rubbing compound otherwise. So, on to 5,000. All right, just got done with the 5,000 grit, or done with the sanding process, should I say. So I'm about to start the rubbing compound, and I just wanted to show you guys, see how it's starting to get kind of shiny. I'm not sure how fine I can get the scratches, but at least when you're starting to see a shine, I feel like that's probably in the right direction and good enough to start. I'm just scared to cut through all the way into the red again. I've already done that multiple times on this side, so I want to stop right here and switch over to rubbing compound, which is turtle wax. I went with this because it's considerably cheaper than the Meguiar's, and those were my two options while I was at AutoZone. So, all right, I'm gonna get started on this. Okay, so here's after 2 passes with the rubbing compound. Probably not gonna pick it up in this camera. Oh, I actually did. Why did it go out of focus? Did for a split second, but anyways, there's ultra fine scratches. They are starting to look lighter. Definitely not as dull as it started out, like this side, you know, with a slight shine. But anyways, I'm gonna hit it probably 2 more times with the rubbing compound, and then probably hit it twice with the polishing compound. And it's about this point that you realize why they charge so much money for somebody else to paint it. Although they probably painted it well enough that they don't have to do this, that, you know, I guess with the prep work and using the right paint and everything. And this is probably also why nobody spray paints their engine bay, or spray paints the car, period. Anyway, back to time lapsing. Okay, I just got finished up going over it 2 more times with the rubbing compound, and the scratches are definitely getting lighter, but I'm not sure at what point I should switch over to the polishing compound. I'm not sure if I should do it when all the scratches are gone, or just when the scratches are starting to get pretty light. So I'm gonna run over it 1 time with the polishing compound and just see what that kind of looks like. Okay, yeah, so that was definitely the right move. So I guess the scratches don't have to be entirely out, they just have to be pretty fine. And then when you get to the polishing compound, what I found, or what I just did, was I actually didn't put a whole lot. I kept it kind of lighter than I had been with the rubbing compound, and that seemed to cut, I guess, do a better job. That turned out really shiny compared to the last time I looked at it after the rubbing compound. So I'm pretty happy with that. There is still some light scratches, so it looks like I'll have to go over it again. Camera's actually picking it up that time. So right through there that I'm showing you is the section that I'm talking about. So I'll go over that again, and but anyways, I think I'm gonna I guess time lapse the whole rest of it. So I'm gonna hit all of this with rubbing compound and then polishing, and then bring it to you guys back at the end and show you how it turned out. Alright guys, I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. I got this pretty much done, but as y'all can see, this is a lot of work. But it'll look good when it's done. See y'all tomorrow. Okay, I definitely wasn't almost done like I thought I was. Had quite a bit more work to do, but it looks good now. Check that out. So it turned out good, in my opinion. Was it worth it? No, probably not. If I was going to do it over again, you know, hindsight's 20/20. I probably would have prepped it better, and then I would have done the. I would have just left it with the orange peel. I would have done the 6 coats of clear coat and then been done with it.